Schwetzingen is a German town situated in the northwest of Baden-Württemberg, around 10 kilometers southwest of Heidelberg and 15 kilometers southeast of Mannheim. Schwetzingen is one of the 5 biggest cities of the Rhein-Neckar-Kreis district and a medium-sized center near the higher-ranked city of Mannheim. Geography: Schwetzingen is located in the Rhein-Neckar Triangle in the plain of the Rhine River, lying west of the Odenwald and in the east of the Rhine. A small stream, the Limebach, runs through the city before joining the Rhine. Neighboring municipalities: the following municipalities, listed clockwise beginning in the north, border on the city limits of Schwetzingen: Mannheim, Plankstadt, Oftersheim, Hockenheim, Getsch and Brühl. The municipal area of Schwetzingen is completely consolidated with Oftersheim. The limits of Plankstadt are only separated by one street from the limits of Schwetzingen. History: Schwetzingen was mentioned as Suerzingen for the first time in 766, recorded in the late 12th century Codex Aureus of Lorsch, but there are already traces of settlement from the Stone Age. Originally it consisted of 2 settlements, Oberon and Schwetzingen, that grew together in the course of the 17th and 18th century. Originally the town belonged to the Diocese of Worms, but later passed to the Counts of the Palatinate in the 12th century. The moated castle of Schwetzingen is mentioned for the first time in 1350. It was destroyed in the 30 Years' War, and in the following War of the Palatinate succession, it was rebuilt by Count Johann Wilhelm and his predecessor. From 1720 it served temporarily as the residence of the Elector Karl III Philip after he moved away from Heidelberg. Later on it served as a summer residence of the Elector of the Palatinate and their court. Schwetzingen Castle began as a simple aristocratic fishing retreat and had an eventful architectural history, in several phases of construction, especially during the reigns of the Elector Karl III Philip and Karl IV Theodore, who, as their answer to Versailles, embellished the castle gardens with some of the finest and most elaborate formal water parterres in Germany gardens. As it evolved, the high central Baroque block of the castle was extended to either side in matching curved ranges of glazed arcades that were punctuated by pavilions which followed the arc of the vast garden circle. They partly enclosed the circle bisected by a wide gravel axis flanked by parterres which centers on a spring-fed water basin inspired by the basin of Diana at Versailles, but here expressing the more appropriately water-centered Greek myth of the poet Arion and the dolphins. On the other side at the entrance, a mulberry tree allée stretched from the center of the castle to the city of Heidelberg, 10 kilometers away on the horizon. Truly a remarkable feat of autocratic landscaping. The curving out buildings of Schwetzingen inspired the smaller Rococo perfections of Schloss Benrath, with its quarter arcs of matching corner loggia embracing a formal sheet of water, built for Karl Theodor near Düsseldorf, 1756 to 1770. In 1759 Schwetzingen received permission to host markets and was developed into a Baroque city through the 18th century. In 1803 all the territories of the Palatine Electorate east of the Rhine, including Schwetzingen, were absorbed into the Grand Duchy of Baden, and the castle became a residence of the Grand Dukes of Baden. In 1833 Schwetzingen was elevated to city status by Leopold, Grand Duke of Baden. The beginning of industrialization in Schwetzingen in the year 1850 made the city an important seat of cigar factories and canneries. Also, the cultivation of asparagus gained importance and has remained one of Schwetzingen's claim to fame. For more information visit www.schwetzingen. Depopulation development. These figures are estimates only. Official census results are statistics of the Residence Registration Office. Official census results. Politics. Local Council. The Local Council of Schwetzingen has 26 members since the last elections in June 2009. Mayors 1833 to 1838, Daniel Helmrich. 1838 to 1851, Karl Welde. 1851 to 1855, Joseph Vetter. 1855 to 1865, Johann Wilhelm IHM. 1865 to 1883, Heinrich Wittmann. 1883 to 1898, Karl Meckling. 1898 to 1904, Heinrich Hafner. 1904 to 1910, Jean Whipfinger. 1910 to 1914, Wilfried Hartmann. 1914 to 1923, Jacob Reinhardt. 1914 to 1918, Georg Pitsch. 1923 to 1929, Johannes Gotz. 1929 1930, Leopold Strathaus. 1930 to 1933, Dr. Arthur Trautmann. 1933 to 1945, Arthur Stober. 1945, Ernst Karl. 1945 to 1948, Dr. Valentin Gaa. 1948 to 1954, Franz Duisberger. 1954 to 1961, Hans Kamen. 1961 1962, Adolf Schmidt. 1962 to 1981, Gert Weibel. 1981 1982, Walter Baal. 1982 to 1998, Gerhard Strathaus. 1999 to 2007, Bernd Kappenstein. 2007-2008, Bernd Juncker. Since 2008, René Poldl. Coat of Arms. The coat of arms of Schwetzingen consists of a divided shield with a golden lion on the upper half on a black background, and on the lower half there is a silver ring on blue background. The city flag is white and blue. The lion symbolizes the Palatine electorate, of which Schwetzingen was a member until 1803. The ring was originally a wheel originating from the seal of an inhabitant who had contacts to the Castle of Schwetzingen. Twin towns. Schwetzingen is twinned with Lunéville, France, since 1969. Papa, Hungary, since 1992. Spoleto, Italy, since 2005. Fredericksburg, United States of America, since 2012. Economy and infrastructure. Transport. Schwetzingen lies relatively favorably between the two autobahns A5 and A6. Schwetzingen station was opened in 1870 on the Rhine Railway, connecting Mannheim and Karlsruhe. Between 1910 and 1938 there was a tram line connecting Schwetzingen and Ketsch. Between 1927 and 1973 there was also a tram line connecting Heidelberg with Schwetzingen. Media in Schwetzingen. The daily newspaper is the Schwetzinger Zeitung, which is a local newspaper published by the Mannheimer Morgen. Public institutions. In Schwetzingen there is a district court, a notary's office, an internal revenue service, a customs office and an employment office. Education. The city maintains the Hebel Gymnasium, the Karl Friedrich Schimper Realschule, the Hilda Hauptschule, 4 elementary schools as well as a special school, the Kurt Weibel Förderschule. Furthermore, there are 2 vocational schools and the Comenius School for mentally handicapped. In the left wing of Schwetzingen's castle there is an advanced technical college for administration of justice, maintained by the state of Baden-Württemberg. Main sites: Theatre. The Schloss Theater Schwetzingen, which was built as the Schloss Theater in 1751–1752 by Nicholas de Pigage, is located in the complex of Schloss Schwetzingen, which hosts, among other events, the annual opera and music festival, the Schwetzingen Festival. The theatre fell into disuse by the late 19th century, but was renovated in 1937 and given its present name after its Rococo style of architecture and used by the festival since 1952. Between 1971 and 1974, it was modernized and reopened with 450 seats for opera and 510 seats for drama. It is the oldest surviving theatre in Europe with boxless circles. Buildings. Schwetzingen Castle is the city's most famous landmark. Its gardens are also notable, as there are elements of French Baroque and the English garden style, with statuary by Peter Anton von Verschaffel. Also worth seeing at the theatre: the Orangery, the Bath and various follies, including the temples of Apollo, Mercury and Minerva, the mosque and the Fountain of Arion. The City Hall was built in 1821 and expanded in 1889, 1912 and 1919. There are 4 churches in Schwetzingen: Catholic Church St. Pancratius, Catholic Church St. Maria, Catholic Church St. Joseph, Protestant Church. Regular events: Schwetzinger Festspiele, Mozart Festival, European Concours d'Elegance, the Castle Square Party, Spargelfest, Fiesta Mexicana, Christmas Fair. Scenic byways. Schwetzingen is located on 3 major tourist theme routes: the Baden-Asparagus Road, leading from Schwetzingen to Lichtenau-Schertzheim, the Bertha-Benz Memorial Route, leading from Mannheim to Pforzheim and back via Schwetzingen, the Castle Road, leading from Mannheim via Schwetzingen to Prague. Sons and Daughters of the Town. Franz Danzig, composer, conductor and cellist. Louis Sling, trade unionist and anarchist. Otto Abetz, diplomat. Thomas Earl, writer and crime writer. Gerrit Müller, football player. Personalities associated with Schwetzingen. Johann Peter Hebel, poet, theologian and educator, died in Schwetzingen. Hebel is the namesake of the Hebel Gymnasium Schwetzingen. Karl Drey, after the Heidelberg studies in forestry, teacher at a private educational institution, inventor of the original bicycle. Carl Friedrich Schimper, naturalist, botanist and geologist. Carl Theodor Hartweg, botanist. Max Illner, chemical industrialist.